Are you listening?
Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Report, your go-to source for all the week's gaming news, nerfed into one show once a week, so you can stop reading the news and get back to playing those video games. If you think that sounds awesome and want to support our channel, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and please share it with your friends. But of course, on this week's episode, E3 is 1 week away, which means Pre-3 is in full swing. So we break down the biggest rumors for this year's E3, along with garnering your expectations of what might actually happen. But before we talk about any of that, your top headlines. Destiny 2 has had a resurgence in popularity as of late, mainly due to the consistent roadmap of content that Bungie has been delivering for its fans. So, with the season of the Drifter coming to an end, prepare yourselves, Guardians, because the season of Opulence has arrived. Starting June 4th, the season of Opulence will begin for Guardians in Destiny 2. During the season of Opulence, gamers can look forward to a brand new 6-player activity called the Menagerie, where Guardians must assemble the Chalice of Opulence by testing your strength in crafted mazes through Calus's lost vaults. Along with the Menagerie, the Season of Opulence will also include new guns, emotes, and armor, along with a light level increase, the return of the Iron Banner, and of course, new exotics. But that's not all, because the Season of Opulence will also mark the arrival of a brand new raid, the Crown of Sorrows, which will launch exactly 6 hours after the launch of the Season of Opulence on June 4th. Call of Duty. This game has literally done it all. Enemies invading the United States. Yep, they've done it. Dropped a nuke from outer space. Yeah, they've done that too. Give us a creepier version of Kevin Spacey than we already got? Yeah, they did that too. You ever seen a shark's eyes, Chief? Black, like doe eyes. Well, despite having done literally everything in gaming, this week Call of Duty did the impossible and completely reinvented the franchise. Allow me to introduce you to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, a complete retelling of Call of Duty. The new game will put you into the role of a highly skilled Tier 1 operator in an incredibly raw and gritty narrative. Unlike previous Call of Duty games, your missions will take place in close quarter areas, including stealth operations and long-range combat. Call of Duty Modern Warfare promises to be more raw and more edgy than ever before. But quite possibly the biggest announcement surrounding this game is that Call of Duty Modern Warfare will have no season pass and will feature true crossplay between PC, Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4. Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima's next video game has had a cloud of mystery surrounding it for quite some time now. But this week, we got a brand new trailer and the clouds slightly part. Let's be honest, it's still really cloudy. In the near future, mysterious explosions have rocked the planet, setting off a series of supernatural events known as the Death Stranding, with spectral creatures plaguing the landscape and the planet on the verge of mass extinction. It's up to Sam Bridges to journey across the ravaged wasteland and save mankind from impending annihilation. Death Stranding will be launching exclusively for the PlayStation 4 on November 8th, 2019. Avengers! Listen up, because thanks to a premature listing for this year's E3 Coliseum, don't worry, it happens to the best of us. We have some new information about Crystal Dynamics' Marvel's Avengers, and it's sounding a whole lot like Destiny. According to a now deleted event for the E3 Coliseum, embrace your powers and join key members of the development team at Crystal Dynamics and the creative team at Marvel Games as they talk exclusively about the upcoming Marvel's Avengers. This is the defining Avengers gaming experience, an epic action adventure that combines cinematic storytelling with continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay. Moderated by Andrea Renee, hey, I know her. Assemble in teams up to 4 players. Master extraordinary abilities, customize your heroes to fit your playlist, and combine powers to defend an ever-expanding world under constant threat.
Now for something completely different, yeah.
E3. The Electronic Entertainment Expo starts on June 11th, but a better and much bigger event has been happening for the last 4 weeks. And of course, I'm talking about Pre-3. Pre-3 is easily my favorite time of the year. It's a time where we find ourselves flooded with news, speculation, and rumors so thick you gotta spell them with 4 Qs. I mean, Pre-3 has already given us rumors like a Justice League game from Rocksteady, a new Fable game from Xbox, a Witcher 3 Switch port, along with a new Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, and a brand new Watch Dogs game being revealed during Ubisoft's press conference. So, I figured with the end of Pre-3 quickly approaching, what better time to wrap up all the rumors and speculation into one massive segment to get you extremely hyped for this year's E3. So, first up, let's talk about the press conferences themselves. Now, traditionally, E3 is always precursored by press conferences from the industry's biggest companies. And this year's press conferences start on June 8th with EA's 2.5-hour EA Play event, which will feature games like Apex Legends, Battlefield, FIFA 20, Madden 20, The Sims 4, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And on Sunday, June 9th, Xbox will take the stage with plans to go big, with confirmed appearances of Project X Cloud, Halo Infinite, along with 14 first-party games being present at the event. And following Xbox is Bethesda, who made it extremely clear that they will not be talking about Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield. But never fear, because Doom Eternal, Rage 2, and Fallout 76 are all expected to fill up this press conference. And wrapping up Sunday for us is Devolver Digital, which, if you've never witnessed a Devolver Digital press conference, do yourself a favor and do not miss this show. This is the one press conference to not miss this entire weekend. Now, on Monday, June 10th, the PC Gaming Show will introduce the latest games and hardware that PC gamers can look forward to in the upcoming year. In fact, this year's PC Gaming Show is being presented with a brand new partner of the Epic Game Store, so expect some big announcements and outrage all around. Now, Ubisoft will be following the PC Gaming Show, and they're expected to discuss Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Assassin's Creed, The Division, along with 2 unannounced games. And next up on Monday, we have Kinda Funny, who will be holding their Kinda Funny Game Showcase, in which they are expected to introduce 50+ games for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. Following Kinda Funny is Square Enix, and we already know that both Final Fantasy VII The Remake and Marvel's Avengers will both be present during their press conference. And our final E3 press conference is Nintendo's E3 Direct, which will be taking place on the morning of Tuesday, June 11th, in which we'll probably get new Pokemon Sword and Shield news, a new look at Astral Chain, along with much, much more. Now, E3 will also be streaming the E3 Coliseum during the entire show on YouTube. But as far as, what's confirmed for this year's show, that's it. So, let's talk about what I think will happen at this year's E3. So, here are my top 5 predictions. Number 1, the year of the Xbox. Prepare yourselves to be bombarded by Xbox. With Sony and PlayStation both skipping this year's E3, Microsoft and Xbox fully understand that this is their show to lose. Phil Spencer has been quoted saying that Xbox will go big at this year's show. So, what exactly does go big mean? Well, expect video games. Games like Halo Infinite, Battletoads, and Gears of War 5. But don't forget, Xbox has also acquired multiple new studios, so it's safe to expect new games from each one of those studios. And of course, this year's E3 will also be our first look at next-generation consoles for Xbox. And while I don't expect to see the physical console pricing or release dates, I do, however, expect that Microsoft will reveal what gamers can look forward to with their next generation of console, along with the future of Project xCloud. Number 2, Xbox Game Pass will feature a Nintendo exclusive. With the recent announcement of Microsoft's willingness to bring Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass to other platforms, I expect that this year's E3 will be our first look at a Nintendo exclusive joining the Xbox Game Pass. And while I do not expect Pokemon, Super Smash Bros., or Zelda to join Xbox Game Pass, I could see a slightly less popular exclusive like Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, or ARMS joining Game Pass. Number 3. PlayStation surprise. Sony announced that they would be skipping this year's E3, and that they would not be holding a traditional E3 press conference. Well, despite all of that, I fully expect that both Sony and PlayStation will have some type of mic drop moment during this year's E3, whether it is a new Last of Us 2 trailer or the announcement of the PlayStation Experience. I think that this week is too massive for Sony to ignore completely. Number 4, Nintendo's next Switch. We've heard the rumors for months now that Nintendo is working on 2 new models of the Nintendo Switch, and I fully expect that Nintendo will debut one of the 2 new Switch models at this year's E3. And if I had to guess, my money is that we get our first look at the cheaper model of the Nintendo Switch. And finally, number 5, the redemption of Fallout 76. Every game that bombs at release seems to have a similar redemption arc. And at this year's E3, I expect that Bethesda will seek redemption from gamers with Fallout 76. This game launched with numerous bugs and glitches. And what better way to show how far they have come than apologizing for the past, along with introducing new features and new content exactly 1 year after the game's debut. And honestly, I joke about pre-3, but I am so pumped for this year's E3. And if you have predictions of what you expect to see at this year's show, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But of course, make sure to stay tuned to the Nerf Report on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for announcements, trailers, and recaps during the entire E3 week. And finally for this week, we come to... That noise, of course, signifies that we are running out of time and coming close to the end of the show. So, in order to cover all the week's remaining news, we must initiate a segment that I like to call... Every single week, we have so much news to talk about and so little time to do it. So we take all the week's remaining news, put 60 seconds on the clock, and try to cover it as fast as humanly possible without running out of breath, passing out, or dying! And now that we're past 100 episodes, I feel like the quality of Nerfd in 60 seconds isn't as important. Like, I could die right now and it would just be like, well, you made it 100 episodes. So, with that in mind, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Go. Spawn is coming to Mortal Kombat 11. The Pokemon Company held a press conference this week in which they gave us a bunch of stuff that we didn't need, like a Pokemon Detective Pikachu game, Pokemon Sleep, and a Pokebank where you can transfer between generations. The Pokebank, coolest one of all of those. Cuphead is coming to the Tesla Model 3, which that game's not even available on PlayStation, but don't you worry, you can play it during rush hour. Xbox Game Pass is coming to PC. We got our first look at the Ghostbusters remastered game. The Google Play Store announced that any game featuring loot boxes must reveal loot box odds. Destiny 2's next chapter will be revealed next week. Original Doom has a brand new sequel created by the original creator of Doom. Principal photography has wrapped up on the Netflix Witcher television show. And get this, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate now supports VR. Didn't need it, but now we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Nerfd in 60 Seconds, and that is it for this week's episode of the show. If you like what you saw, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here and haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. As always, my name is Bryant Chappelle. You are you, and this has been the Nerf Report. Thanks for watching.